Hey, how's it going everyone? This is DCSU81 and today I would like to do a review for this latest Marvel Legends series, a 2-pack for Ned Leeds as well as Peter Parker. Yes, somehow I just noticed that this set is actually from the Homecoming. Wow, that's very long ago.
It's been 84 years.
And let's take a look at the box, and I must say is that this time alone the box is pretty huge. I'm glad because there are two figures inside. Now let's do a comparison of the size with these two singles Marvel Legends boxes. Yeah, this is like a 1.5, so I was thinking that maybe this two is equals to one of these, but I was wrong. Okay, so they are even bigger when combined together. I kind of like the way they actually photograph the figures, and they actually put a Spider-Man face there even though there is no Spider-Man costume here. If you take a closer look, you can see the Peter Parker looks really alike, but this time around the Ned is the one that I felt is not really looking like the actor himself. However, when you look at the side here, you can see both of the figure, and this time around the Ned is looking pretty okay. And at this side of the box, I kind of like this drawing of the homemade suits. And lastly is the back of the box, whereby you can see everything that it comes with, the accessory for Peter Parker as well as Ned, and I really like this head. Okay, so let's get them out. Now these are the figures right out of the box, and I think Hasbro actually heard my wishes of this head. They actually put it on the figure already. Wow, this looks amazing. Let's take a look at Peter Parker first. My, this is a very nice one. They even have his belt like being undone. It's all green. There's no any weathering or shading. Yeah, just plain green. And the pants is also like a khakis color, which is all brownish as well. Looks pretty good, but it just kind of reminds me the color of yeah, somehow. And his shoes, okay, pretty good. And I kind of like the bag. Yeah, this is a very good accessories for him. Let's take a look at the face. Wow, I think this is the best looking Peter Parker from Marvel Legends to date. Yeah, it really captures Tom Holland likeness very well. You can even see the hair is being done very nicely. My goodness, this is good Peter Parker. And let's take a look at his friend Ned. Yep, wow, this is really nice again. And he do have a watch here. This is one whole piece. I kind of hope that they actually make it like a separate piece whereby you can actually move a little, but this whole thing, the shirts, the inner shirt is one whole piece. The pants, this looks like it's being washed out. There's something like a weathering over here, which is good. It's looking very nicely there. And yeah, the shirt itself doesn't have any weathering, only the pants. And the shoe also looks very plain, like it's unpainted. Yeah, I kind of think that there should be at least some paints there. I think they must have forgotten to paint mine maybe. And let's take a look again at the Spider mask. Yeah, it's very nice. Finally we have a fat Spider-Man fit. This is great. So yes, for both of them, I think I love the looks a lot. It looks exactly like the prototype. This is beautiful. Okay, now let's move on to the articulations. I'll start with Peter Parker. Looking to the right, looking to the left, no issues. Looking up, yep, not too bad. Looking down, yeah, even better. And from here we can see the neck is actually a separate piece, which explains why he can move freely. As for his arm, he can turn 360 degrees. Moving up, yep, not too bad. I think there is no butterfly joint for this Peter Parker. And arm shrivels, rubber joint elbow. His hand can turn around, up and down. It seems like you only have one point of articulations here, but I believe this portion here can be moved around because this piece is a separate piece. So let's try to turn his waist. Yeah, he can turn his waist, not too bad. For his upper torso, he can also move around. Let's see how well he can bend forward. Not very much, unfortunately. Bending backwards, yeah, not too much as well. Picking up, Wow, not too bad. Kicking backwards just a little. There's a leg swivels, double joint knee. His leg can move side to side, up and down, and there is no toe hinge. Let's see how well this Peter Parker can do a split. Wow, not too bad. Now let's move on to Ned. I believe he will have more restriction as compared to this Peter Parker. So let's start with the head. I believe he can just turn to the right and to the left just slightly. Looking up, not going to happen. Looking down as well, not going to happen. This is because he doesn't have any neck on this head. Yeah, it's a one whole piece of head. We'll try on the Arma's head later and we'll see about the articulations of the head. So let's move on to the hand. He can turn 360 degrees. Moving up. Wow, this is hard. Let's see how well. Wow, not too bad. There isn't any arm swivels and butterfly joint, and his arm only have a single joint elbow. Hands can be moved around up and down. And there is no point of articulations over here because this entire body is one single piece, but I believe he should be able to turn his waist. Yes, he can. Kicking forward, let's see, just slightly. Kicking backwards, not really going to happen. There's a tight swivels, a double joint knee. Like Peter Parker, his leg can move up and down, turning side to side, but it's rather restrictive because of the pants. And let's see how well he can do a split. Just like that. So yes, just like I said, this Ned will be having slightly more restrictive articulation as compared to the Peter Parker. Okay, so now let's take a look at the accessory that it comes with. So let's start with Peter Parker. He actually comes with a pair of relaxed hands that's already on the figure, a pair of closed fist hands, a book which can't be opened, and a smiling Peter Parker head. And let's do a comparison. Yes, we can clearly see there's a change in the expressions. And now let's move on to Ned. He just comes with this green backpack. It's a single piece. You can't really open any zipper. It's pretty hard. And lastly, of course, he just comes with this unmasked head. Yep, from this one, I think it actually looks like Ned. Okay, not too bad. Yep, so this is all the accessory that it comes with. For Peter Parker, I think it's great that he comes with an alternate head and also some interchangeable hands. But for Ned, I do hope that he also comes with some interchangeable hands. But nevertheless, I'm happy that they actually give this head as an alternate head for him. Okay, so let's try to put on some of the accessory onto both of them. I'll start with Peter Parker first. As always, I will start with the hands, so you just need to pluck it out like this and just plug it back in. And to interchange the head, you just need to remove it and just put it back in. Yes, so this is how he looks like. And to remove the back, I believe you just put the hand behind like this and you can just slide it through. Very easy. Okay. The same goes for putting up the back as well. So you can actually remove the back, which is rather good. And this is how you can hold on to his book. And I'll move on to Ned this time. Of course, I will start off with putting on his back. Like just now, you just need to put his arm back. And this part of the back is actually soft, so you can easily just put it onto him. Yep, like this. It is very easy. So this is how he looks like with the back behind him. Wow, it fitted rather well for his big body. And to interchange the head, you just need to pop this out. Wow, this is hard. Oh, so he does have a neck after all. Okay, so it can't be moved. It's a whole piece with the body as well, so you just need to pop it back in. Wow, this is hard. Okay, so this is how he looks like without the mask. Wow, I must say this is very good. Even though I like this head on this body, but with his unmasked head is equally well. Wow, this is really good. And I did mention that after changing to this head, let's see how the articulation goes. So you can look to the right, looks to the left, looking up. Yes, he can do that now. Looking down, yep, even better. Yes, with the human head, he can articulate even better as compared to this head, because this one is like almost sticking to the body. You can't even see the neck, but this one you can. If you like this video, do click on the likes button. Now next, I would like to talk about the likeness of the figures, because these two are the human figures, so the likeness will be very important. So let's take a look at this Peter Parker, and I must say that This one is slightly lacking of the likeness, but if we see this one, yeah, I think this has the best resemblance from the Marvel Legends to date. And as for this Ned, yeah, you can see that he is slightly smiling or smirking over there, which is a good touch because otherwise he will looks boring. But then again, the likeness is not as good as the Tom Holland's. Definitely from afar you can see the actor, yeah, but it's not as good once it's up close. Okay, next let's move on to some size comparisons. I will compare with some Marvel Legends first. So I have this, the Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man that I recently reviewed, as well as this Spider-Man Noir, which I have also recently reviewed. Okay, and still on the Marvel Legends, I will compare with his mentor Iron Man Mark 85, as well as this very good looking Thor. Next, I'll move on to some SH Figuarts. I have the Spider-Man from the Far From Home, the upgraded suit, as well as this Mark 85 battle damage versions. And still on the SH Figuarts, I have the Tony Stark right over here, as well as this mighty Thor, which is very small as compared to them. And next, let's move on to some Mayfax. I have the Thor, yep, from the Endgame, as well as this Captain America from the Endgame as well. And still on the Mayfax, I'd like to compare with this Homecoming Spider-Man suit, as well as this Amazing Spider-Man, the comic paints versions. And next, I'd like to compare with some custom brand. I have the Flashback Studio, the Maniple Peter Parker. Yes, this is another one of my Peter Parker. This is like the second one, so this is my first Peter Parker, as well as this Nota Studio Steve Rogers. Yep, very nice. And lastly, how can we miss this Marvel Legends MJ? Yep, wow, I think the three of them looks very good together. Next, I would like to talk about the price for them. Yes, okay, so the price is slightly high because it's a 2-in-1 box, but if you were to divide that price into half, you actually get the decent Marvel Legends price that it used to be before the price hike recently. Yeah, so I would say is that the price is rather good for both of these figures. I'm not sure whether there is any plain cloth Peter Parker for Tom Holland has been released so far. I'm not so sure. I think there has been several heads given. I must hate for the Spider-Man body, but in terms of a fully casual Peter Parker figure, I think this is the first one if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, do let me know down in the comment sections below if you know there is another releases of Peter Parker in the casual mode for Tom Holland, of course, not the comic versions. But I'm pretty sure for this Ned, he's the first release of a full form in a human. It has not been released before. Even the heads, I don't think they have actually given before. So this is like an entirely new mold, new character, new body. As for this, I think he's new as well. So with the price, yeah, it's very well worth to get for both of them. Okay, so my final rating for both of them based on all the star ratings so far is for Peter Parker, he's going at 9.5 out of 10. Wow. As for Ned, he's going at 7.5 out of 10, which isn't too bad as well. So for both of them, I give full points on the overall look because I just love how they actually turns out to be, and certainly it did not disappoint. As for the articulation, yeah, this one does have a very good ones, but for this is rather restrictive. And as for accessory, yeah, both of them are kind of lacking, but the best thing I would say is the resemblance of Tom Holland's on this head, and this one isn't too bad as well. So yes, I do recommend this set for those of you who are actually a big fans of the Tom Holland Spider-Man trilogy, and this is really a must-add to your collections of Spider-Man. So I hope that you enjoy this review, and I certainly hope that it helps you to decide whether you should get this 2-in-1 pack, and I'll catch you again in my next video. Dude, I hope you'll check out these videos too.